Pick a brand, and I want you to tell me what do you identify with this brand, and why is it a favorite of yours? Anybody?
Chick-fil-A.
Okay. Why?
It's about the customer and their customer experience.
Hmm. Okay. Next.
Um, I kind of would identify with FedEx, only because I'm in logistics myself and,
Mm.
and they have something to deliver to the customer, so their thing is to keep the customer happy, even though it doesn't go that way all the time. So,
It's neat. Now let's stay right there for a second. Very good answer, Ms. Clayton, and also Ms. Compton. What what we are finding is that a lot of times, and this is something you think and putting it back in brain as it relates to your business, people identify with a business as it relates to who they are as people. So people identify with brands as it relates to who they are as people. I like Chick-fil-A because of the customer service, which means I could do some research and find out that, maybe he's a considerate person, mannerable person. These things are at the top of the list that's of importance, um, respectable, those type of things. Whereas FedEx is a logistical company and the gentleman works in logistics. So and you'll see that more. So next, who else identifies as something else?
I'm gonna say Nike,
Okay. Why?
because everybody wear Nikes, and that's one of the brands that I grew up wearing. With that New Balance and Tim's, but also Jordans. They are part of the Nike.
Okay. Okay.
I identify with the Yankees.
There you
Uh,
go. There it goes.
I am from the East Coast, but the Yankees is one of the most richest businesses minded franchise ever. They're
Right.
over $1 billion. And by me being logistics, the Yankees is just not on the East Coast selling apparel. They also sell apparel on the West Coast, overseas. So that's how they handle their business is why I resonate with the Yankees so much.
Next slide, please. What's neat about each one of these brands is that they were all started by veterans, whether you are aware or not. But each of these brands were started by veterans. I didn't know Steinbrenner was in the Air Force at first, um, and it's not something that you always hear when you hear about the brands. Field Knight as well. Uh, so all of these different brands were identified by individuals just like yourself. So when you give them a bunch of credit, give yourself some credit. When you look at them and admire them, also understand that you are in the same place to be admirable. And that's something neat about your status and your current position. We mentioned earlier about what makes a successful entrepreneur are the resources and the networks. You know, the what has been my experience, and I work in with both the military and civilian side, and the resources that you have are very rich. So make sure you're taking advantage of them. So I think you're really fit to be in a good position. When we think about again some of the different attributes that make for a really good entrepreneur, mission, problem solving, values. Because if you don't have values, your customers will see you don't have values, and they will have a hard time continuing to do business with you. We mentioned the resilience before, and then the ethical is very similar to having the values and definitely being dependable. So those things have been ingrained in you through your service. That they're not always ingrained by parents to children, because our values, our ethics, our morals are different based on our geographic location, based on our financial background. Some of those things are different. So we're not always taught by parents to be entrepreneurs or to be business owners. Some are, and some are not. Some say go to school, get a job, or if you don't go to school and go to college to get a job and go to the military. So those things we have heard before, but a lot of people don't always talk about add value, create your own business, use your own gifts and tributes that God had given you to start something. So all of those attributes and abilities and characteristics that make for a good business owner, you've been working with them for the past 10 to 20 years. And I would argue that it's time for you to go ahead and take the step up and pursue your small business ownership. Next slide. This is introducing you to a gentleman. You see his name, Chandler Lyles, and he started Lyles Barbecue in Lexington, Kentucky. And Lexington's probably maybe 2 hours northeast of Fort Knox. And him and his family business. Next slide. He went through Boots to Business also, and was able to start the barbecue company. Somebody tell me what's unique about barbecue as it relates to a business.
You can do it. You're not limited to a building. You can do it anywhere.
Okay, good. Like one of the answers came in, you can have a restaurant, or you can have a truck, or you can have a grill and pop up anywhere. Those are three different things. What's unique also about barbecue is that it is almost cultural. Okay, those that's from the East Coast, how many barbecue restaurants did you see in the Bronx? I think the gentleman said he's in the Bronx. How many barbecue restaurants were in the Bronx? Chime in and tell us.
About 1 or 2.
About one or two, exactly. How many pizza shops?
One on every corner.
Yeah, so we see now, if we're in the South, that changes. If we're out in California, it's the same way as it is on the East Coast. So it's a geographic food. It's kind of, some foods and some businesses are ethnic, and some are geographic as well. And we see that in there. But about 10% of all businesses are owned by veterans. So, you should definitely be encouraged